No.
Now?
Yeah, no.
Alright. So Danny approached me and asked me to tell a fable or a story. And it made me think of an urban legend. So first I thought of a Charlie Daniels Band song. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, The Legend of Woolly Swamp. And then that made me think of my childhood, and I realized I grew up surrounded by an urban legend of the Goat Man. The Goat Man I first heard about in the back seat of my parents' car. It was my brother and I, must have been in about the 6th grade. My dad and mom up front. And we're going down Fletcherstown Road, which is a road that connects Bowie, Maryland and Lanham, Maryland. So we're going down this road, which is really narrow, lined each side with trees, barely a 2-lane road. And my dad turns to us and says, "Hey, you guys keep an eye out for the Goat Man." And my brother and I, wide-eyed, were looking out. The Goat Man? He said, "Yeah, the Goat Man lives in this area. It's got the body of a goat, the trunk of a man, and he's real hairy, and he's got the goat horns. And so keep an eye out." So my brother and I, every time we went down that road, are looking for the Goat Man. Well then, in junior high, the story starts getting a little bit darker, because I guess I'm older, and I'm realizing my friends have heard of the Goat Man. Well, the Goat Man's not a good guy. He's a bad guy. The Goat Man preys on teenagers and chops them up with a hatchet and eats them and kills pets and beheads them and does all these nasty things. So now the Goat Man, that's not so good. And the legend is that PG County has 2 special things about it. Right near the NASA Goddard is the Bethesda Agricultural Center, where they do experiments on animals, FDA stuff, and so part of that legend is there was a mad scientist there that was playing with DNA and cloning or doing something, and he created the Goat Man, or the boy, and it escaped and was laughed at by teenagers, which is why there's a hatred for teenagers. So on Fletchertown Road, the Goat Man stalks the teenagers that choose to park there, jumps on the car. Some of them get away, which is how the legend gets passed around. Some of them don't escape, get dragged into the woods and horribly killed and mutilated, which, as I recall, never hearing about anyone getting killed when I was there. But that's how the legend goes. The Goat Man also inhabits Lotsford Vista Road, or Lotsford Road. It's just Lotsford Road. So anyway, there's this giant area, and on the other side of the area is the Glendale Sanitarium. And it was also rumored that he was captive there. He wasn't really a goat man. He was a very hairy, distorted man with a mental disorder that escaped and wreaked havoc on the place. So we have these 2 really different ideas of how it came to be. So, you know, all of a sudden you fear the Goat Man. So in high school, of course, I'm now a teenager. I have access to vehicles, friends with vehicles. So what do? In high school, we go looking for the Goat Man. So here we are. Everyone's piling into a car, 8 people to a car, no seatbelts, no nothing. We're driving really late at night, driving down Fletcherstown Road and Lotsford Road looking for the Goat Man. Now, Lotsford Road has a bridge on it called Crybaby Bridge. 2 stories go along with that. The first, Crybaby Bridge, is the story of a young mom who drowned her infant child there. So if you drive your car on it, turn out the lights, turn off the ignition, and roll down the windows, not very bright, but if you do it, occasionally it's said that you can hear the infant ghost child cry. And then the other part is the Goat Man lives on that road. Sometimes you can hear him bang in the woods, running back and forth and crying out in the night. So I don't recommend it, turning your car off in an empty road on a bridge. But that's sort of the legend of the Goat Man. And then, so I was thinking about this when Danny mentioned it, and I Googled it. So if you Google the Goat Man, you will find a lot of information about the Goat Man of Prince George's County. And the last known sighting of him was in 2000. But since then, there have been added legend updates that travel up to 2006. So it's still being passed around to all the kids in PG County, and I'm sure they're doing crazy things trying to find the Goat Man. And so that's my urban legend story that I lived.
Wow. How old is the Goat Man now?
The Goat Man, I think the first story of him was 1952 or 1957.
Wow.
So
Goat man is old.